Morning, everybody. I just want to thank you first for joining us this morning. I appreciate your time. First off, I want to just introduce myself. I'm Foster Sainer. I kind of oversee everything Edge Partners related, so I imagine I've talked to a majority of you sometime or another. So I'm excited to kind of give an off-season update and a little bit of an AgConnex training as well there. Before we get started, just to kind of give you an idea of everything that I plan on going over this morning. First, we'll take a look at the benefits of the Edge partnership and kind of touch on each of those additional services that you receive with Edge. Then we'll take a look at some best practices, but we won't spend a ton of time on that. We'll take a look at some services that you receive as not only an Edge partner, but a KSi customer in general. Then we'll take a look at the AgConnex and do some training on that, similar to what we had done last year, but we'll have Dwayne go over some additional features that he had added within the last year that you may not be aware of. Then we'll take a look at kind of some new stuff and new equipment that we had released at KSi within the last year and just kind of giving you an update there along with some software updates as well. And then we'll kind of wrap it up with any questions. Feel free to put those questions in where Rick had sent a message there, or there's a Q&A tab at the top. Feel free to put any questions that you have in that section there. So first off, what is Edge? So Edge is that subscription license where it's going to be an ongoing fee for the continued use of premium software. So anything new that we have at KSi software-wise, you guys will have access to that. First off, we do have some of our AgConnex partners here. So this is more of an informative webinar for you guys where AgConnex may not be available to you at the moment, but get in contact with myself if you'd like some more information and some upgrade options there. But all the additional services here with the Edge partnership. First, Auto Treat Plus. So this is going to be what you guys are interacting with a majority of the time. And with that Auto Treat Plus, you have access to a bunch of additional features compared to Auto Treat Lite. AgConnex, like I mentioned, Dwayne is going to touch on that and do kind of a more in-depth training on that. But that's going to be that web-based interface. So you go to agconnex.com. and you can run reports and all the data that you run on the auto treat side. So any order that you run on the auto treat side will reflect almost instantly in AgConnex, where you can run reports on that. Integration. So this is actually a billing integration. So if you have a billing software that you would like to integrate with the KSi system, feel free to get in contact with myself and we'll get some more information to you on that and potentially set up a separate meeting there to get you some more information there. Premier phone support. This is something that I imagine a lot of you guys are familiar with. That is just anytime that you have any questions, you can call into that automation queue and we'll get you taken care of fairly quickly there. You'll be first in line anytime that you call in. Limited lifetime warranty. So this is going to be limited to the CPU, hard drive, and barcode scanner. So the CPU is essentially the brain of the entire treating system. So everything processes through that. All the commands come from the CPU. So that's a very critical and crucial part to the treating system. So just the peace of mind that if that were to crash, you have lifetime warranty on that. So the no questions asked, just the peace of mind of having warranty there. Hard drive, same thing. You also have access to database backups, PLC backups that goes along with that lifetime warranty. So if your CPU or hard drive were to crash, we'd have a recent database backup of that where you're not going to be losing any data there. And then, of course, access to ongoing features. So like I mentioned, anything new at KSi, you guys will have access to that. You'll always have access to the latest and greatest there. Just to give you a visual of all the innovation and technological advancements that you receive with Auto Treat Plus compared to Auto Treat Lite. So obviously year over year, you're going to continue to separate yourself from where the auto treat light is at. Where auto treat light, you won't necessarily have the technological advancements that you would have with auto treat plus, maybe minimal or functional updates. But yeah, you're not going to have the latest and greatest. Getting into some best practices, right now we're kind of in that limbo stage where if you treated wheat in the fall, you're probably wrapping that up or have wrapped that up within the last couple months, and you may be doing a little bit of maintenance, but ultimately you're probably just kind of waiting for the startup in the spring. So right now we could be doing some data input to kind of alleviate the stress of all that comes when that comes in the spring. You can be adding recipes, liquids, seed varieties, assigning that to bins. You may even be getting some of your seed in now. So go ahead and reflect that in your on the auto treat side. So putting in your inventories and stuff like that. That's stuff that you can do now to kind of alleviate the stress and tension that may be coming in the spring there. Some support services here. So of course the Premier phone support. We also have like short tutorial videos more catered towards service tips. So tracking the belt, tensioning the belt, greasing bearings, checking splices, scale calibration as well, like pump scale calibration and stuff like that. We do have short tutorial videos on the KSi EDGE website and KSi EDGE YouTube channel. Then, of course, the automation support. So if you call it that 888-574-3277, and then extension 1 will kind of put you in the automation queue, and then you'll type in your 4-digit serial number, where that will go ahead and filter you to the Premier queue where you'll be first in line there. And that serial number will be on like there'll be a sticker on the top of your touchscreen there. If you don't know your serial number there. Now we'll go ahead and get into kind of the AgConnex training portion here. So Dwayne, if you want to go ahead and do your demo there.
Yeah, hello. Thanks, Foster. As Foster said, I'm Dwayne Cape. I'm the Director of Technology here at KSi, and I oversee and work with our engineering and software development team on both our cloud, AgConnex, and integration platform, as well as our on-prem, which in this case, the highlighting the auto treat, seed delivery, and seed treatment solutions. So here, I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen and kind of walk through some of the things that we have in AgConnex currently. Talk through what some of the features are that we've recently deployed, as well as kind of look forward into what we see is kind of like on our roadmap for features that we want to see be rolled out as well. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Foster, I'll just check with you. Are you able to see that now?
Yeah, looks good, Dwayne.
Okay, sounds good. So as Foster had mentioned, we have, in addition to AgConnex, we do have a like pre-built integration connectors. So we have some, with different billing software providers. And so if that is something that you are interested in, or something that you have want to explore, by all means, get in touch with Foster, and we can schedule a call and talk through what that would look like. So that would be something that I would be involved with, as well as a few people on my team. So as far as like AgConnex goes, at a high level, what is AgConnex? It is a cloud machine management and kind of like an analytics or reporting dashboard platform. So we kind of this was a kind of a rebuild of our prior CConnex platform, and one of the things we wanted to focus on was making the data that is being processed on your machines accessible in a way that is easy to interact with, and you're able to kind of slice the data in a way that would make sense for your business. And so just quickly kind of clicking through the interface here, We kind of think of data in maybe 3 different buckets as far as the seed system is concerned. We've got order slash transactions. We've got treatment products, and then we've got seeds. And so as we think of the transactions as a whole, from within here, we're able to filter down to a specific customer. So just maybe some use cases that we've seen where someone will want to send, a monthly delivery usage, like a CSV export to their customers. And so they'll go through, find the specific customers that want the report, select the date range of the last month, if they run at the end of the month, or set a specific date range, apply that filter, and then export that out as a CSV, and then forward that on to their customer. So that's one use case. Another use case would be just wanting to audit. So if there's a specific order, not sure where it went, paper maybe it was lost, you can come in here, find that specific order, go to the specific date, and expand that out and actually get order information. So within here, you can see what seed was delivered, how many units, what the weight, how many pounds were delivered, as well as the individual treatment products and the fluid ounces. So that can be all viewed and managed straight from within AgConnex here. You're able to email a receipt or download a receipt directly from AgConnex here. So this is what that receipt will look like, similar to what you would get from the on-prem machine, formatted fairly similar. It's going to have the same data set. If it might look just a little bit different. Again, as I mentioned, you can filter down to a specific variety or a specific crop, a specific customer, and see that as well. Treatment product summary as well. So you're able to come in here and see a specific treatment and how many fluid ounces were delivered for a specific machine. And this could also be filtered by a customer, so you can see how much of a specific treatment went to a specific customer without having to be not at an order level, for example. Same with seeds. So seeds would be very similar. You're able to find a specific seed variety by lot, and then also filter that down by customer. One of the things I will mention is when you do export, the filter criteria that you have set will come through on the export. So if you're filtering by a specific customer, it may not be super apparent right here when you're looking at the data of what you're seeing. But once you receive that export as a CSV, that stuff will exist in the header, so you know what the filter set was for that. So yeah, I mean, another thing that we did is being able to manage the different master data sets that are on your machine from the cloud. So whether it's customer seeds, treatment products, or orders. Currently, recipes are not able to be managed from AgConnex. That is something that is on our roadmap, but is not currently supported today. But with specifically customers and seeds, we also have implemented an import process. And something that I feel, we feel is value add in not just in the sense that you can import your products, but we've kind of taken an approach of how do we not just get it to where you can use your, like a one-time import at the beginning when you set up your machine, but how do we have this import set up to where you can use it year over year or even multiple times throughout the year? So I will go ahead and just demo that here really quick, but a couple things to highlight is we do a lot of kind of management of the individual records being imported on the back end to keep from creating a bunch of duplicates. So if a record already exists, if a specific customer name already exists, it will attempt to update that record as opposed to creating a new one. So there's some obviously some advantages there. So this is something you can use every year and not just once when your system was initially commissioned. So the import process is fairly straightforward. You can come in, you select your specific CSV that you would like to import. Here I have an import of a bunch of dummy data. It's giving me a snapshot of kind of what is in that CSV file. I go into next, and now I can map the columns. So I can take the columns out of my CSV and map them to the fields within the KSi auto tree system. And I go ahead and go next, and this will go ahead and validate the data set. So what you can see here is of the records, 2 of them failed because one of them contains an apostrophe, which is not a valid character, and one of them has a customer, or the comment field is longer than 250 characters. So in my case, that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and just skip. I know these two records will not send through. So once it's sent, once the import has been sent to the machine, we will see here's an actual list of the individual records that were sent. So if a specific record failed, it would show up here. So we can see we sent 58, and we've got a response back on all 58 records have been successfully imported. And as we scroll through here, you can see that most of them were actually imported or inserted, but a few of them were actually updated. So this one was updated on the name, and this one was also updated on the name. So as you can see, we're handling both inserts and updates from a single import. Moving on to seeds, very similar to that, but we're able to come in here and do a seed. I'll also mention that you can download an example CSV template. So if you want to have a CSV templated for a specific import, you can download that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and send that to the machine. And we can see that those have actually already imported. So it's fairly quick. Yeah, if there were any issues, if any of them aired out, it would have told us. Another thing that we have added that will be available as we go into next year is the ability to create orders from AgConnex. So this could be particularly useful for for companies that do not have a integration with their billing software. If there's ever a time where you want to put an order in and get it to the machine without having to actually walk in front of the machine or communicate a order through email or text message, you would be able to log into the platform, open up orders, and just create a new order. You can either set your own order name, or you can just have it auto-generate an order name. We'll just go ahead and put one in. Go ahead and put it in for Tom. Select our variety. Define our order amount. So we'll say 55 units. Apologize, am I back here?
Yeah, I got you, Dwayne.
All right, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I think my Teams crashed. Okay, so do you see my screen again?
Not quite.
I'll wait here until it pulls up. Anything there, Foster?
I'm still seeing just black. If you want to go ahead and unshare it and share it again, that might.
Sure. Yeah, give me just a second here.
There we go.
The back?
Yep.
Okay. So basically, I was able to create an order from here, and I'm going to go ahead and just quickly process that order on-prem so we can see that come back up as a transaction. As you'll see, it's fairly quick. It does, records process fairly quickly and are available in pretty much real time. So as soon as process this here. If I go back to my transaction summary, you can see that order has already been processed, and I already have visibility into that specific order that we created for Tom. You can see that I delivered 55 units, And then here are the actual products. You can see I didn't, I just typed in a number here and kind of overshot. But you can see that, yeah, that order did process. One other thing too that you know, maybe I'll kind of jump to is we have what's called like automated reports. So as orders are processed, we have the ability to like forward that transaction receipt. So the receipt that I could download from here, I can actually have it set to auto email, and that would actually, when this order is processed, if I had a report, an automated report set up for this specific machine, I would receive that transaction receipt as an email. So even if I didn't, yeah, there's just some different opportunities there from like an efficiency perspective around billing, where if you want a specific transaction receipt to show up to billing right away, as opposed to having to wait for the paper copy to be, you know, transferred to billing, we can have it auto email those internally. Okay. So yeah, like I mentioned, jumping into reporting, we can create reports here for a specific machine. We can do summary reports or individual transaction reports. So an individual transaction report or receipt, I guess, would just be similar to what I showed here, where it would be a specific receipt. A summary report, you could get a summary report which would show a list of all the orders that were processed for a specific, or orders that were processed for a specific machine. And you can set that to either receive daily or weekly, and you can define the specific time you want to receive that. So that's you know, something hopefully you're able to find useful. I'll mention, I do believe we have some customers who more on the like agrichem side with our bulk liquid delivery system, which we call Auto Bulk. I'll just mention that everything I've kind of covered on the auto seed treatment side is available on the bulk chemical side as well. So we'll have order transaction receipts. Yeah, you're able to see your transactions. You're also able to manage customers, import products, create orders. So from within here, you are able to create orders and add products. So if there's you to come in here and select a specific product and define your amount. And add those here as well. So similar to what we do on the seed treatment side, you're able to do that here on the bulk chemical side. I think, you know, as far as, you know, thinking into the future of like what's on our roadmap, there's some things that you know, I guess I can share as we're continuing to build out our integration portfolio, you know, who we have connectors with. And so that's something that we're focused on and want to continue to do. And so if there are certain systems that you're working with that we do not have a connector with, we would be happy to meet with you and discuss, you know, possibilities and timeframes on when that could happen. Another thing we're working on is automated alerts. So this would be similar to reports, except that it would be a kind of like a customized filter set or criteria set that if certain metrics are met for a specific system, then an alert would be raised. So here's an example of what that would look like. So I have an alert for Saltro on a machine 8022. And if it basically is above 3% or below 3%, I will get an alert if it exceeds more than 2 orders. So you can see here, these are the 2 orders that were processed, and you can see that we were out of our tolerance. And so we got an alert. So this would be something you could set up at a per product basis, as well as define what your over threshold is, your above threshold and below threshold, and how many consecutive orders. So that's something that is being worked on. Also mention we have plans of adding like a company product library, which basically would allow company admins to build out a list of recipes, a list of seeds that would then be able to be like sunk to all machines within a specific company. So that kind of comes into play more with like our integrated customers, but it also could be used on any really for anyone who has more than one machine to kind of help improve the process of getting machines commissioned and set up from a data perspective. So that's something else. And then, as Foster had mentioned, kind of some of the ongoing improvements in both in the cloud and on-prem. We're also working on implementing some barcode scanning on seed bag tags. So that's something too. I can't necessarily speak to time frame on that, but that is something that is in process, and hoping to have that wrapped up as well. So as far as the demo goes, Foster, that's all I have. Unless there was something else that you wanted me to mention, I'd be happy to do so. But that's kind of a wrap for me.
Very good. Thanks, Dwayne. Chris did ask if there is a demo account that he can go through with the functions to get familiar with the different capabilities. What I would probably say to that is I could get you set up with an account, and then you could essentially go through all the functions and stuff like that on your own serial number with your own machine data. If that doesn't necessarily answer your question, Chris, feel free to get in contact with me, and we can kind of talk that through later. But unless, Dwayne, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think you're right. I think we would be able to set Chris up with an account, set anyone up with an account, and give them access to a couple of our demo machines that they can play around with, and not have to worry about breaking anything. But yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Are you able to see my screen there?
Yeah. Yep. Gotcha.
Dwayne? Perfect. Yeah. So that kind of goes along with that. Kind of the next steps of AgConnex. If you don't have an account, then get in contact with myself. There's my contact information. Give me a call or send me an email with all of the emails that you would like to have access to AgConnex or have an AgConnex account. So yeah, the next step there is getting in contact with myself. Moving on to taking a look at what's new. What did we release at KSi that we would like to highlight within the last year? So a few things there would be that SMX air conveyor and the dry additive bucket flip. So SMX would be kind of a static mixing conveyor where it allows for a little bit more gentle handling of the seed on the loadout side, where you get a little bit more of a complete clean out with that static mixing conveyor and static mixing belt, which in the last year we went ahead and added on kind of a conditioned air, where that's going to blow forced air and conditioned air onto that seed as it's coming out of the drum onto that belt. So it'll kind of essentially eliminate the stickiness or having wet beans in a box or in a truck. So if you're having issues with those beans kind of sticking together, I think that this SMX conditioned belt conveyor is the solution to that. So if you'd like some more information on that, get in contact with myself or your regional business development rep, and they can get you some more information on that and get a quote for you there. Also, the bucket flip. So the reason why we designed this is when you dumped that bucket into the hopper on the dry additive feeder, a lot of dust got in the air, and it wasn't safe to breathe that in. So this will flip that bucket quickly and then seal it off. So it eliminates any dust or powder that might go up into the air when you're loading that dry additive feeder there. So again, if you'd like some more information on that or would like a quote, get in contact with myself or your regional representative there. But that kind of concludes our webinar this morning. If you have any other questions, feel free to put those in that Q&A section here, or of course, get in contact with myself. Give me a call, send me an email. Again, that's my contact information there. But don't see any other questions in that Q&A section or in the chat. So if we don't have any other questions, we can go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate your time this morning once again. I just want to thank you again for your loyalty and your commitment to KSi with that Edge partnership, and appreciate you guys joining this morning. Thanks, guys.